one. Hey guys, it's Brendan Borman, and we are back for our 270 video, and we have a very special guest today, the one, the only, Tyler DeMoura.
Me?
Hello.
What's up, Eddie? Hey, buddy. What's up, buddy?
Hey,
That was
buddy.
quite an accent. Yeah, I'm trying something new out, Hey, what's up, buddy?
Hey,
It's a, yeah, it's Eastern European. Oh, someone's gonna get me for that one. Terrible joke. Whatever. What's up, everybody? How we doing?
Good. We are just gonna spit some hot fire for like 10, 15 minutes or so, talking about 270, talking about the new candidate coming to the game. I'm super excited about Vermin Supreme.
Yes. Oh, I've been hype on adding Vermin Supreme forever.
Yeah, it's gonna be awesome. I can't wait to play as him. I feel like a lot of the community maybe doesn't know Vermin Supreme. I definitely had no idea who the heck he was until people started throwing his name out as a potential candidate. Have you known Vermin before this?
Yeah. I've been familiar with Vermin, I think probably since the 2016 election. I followed some of his antics during that particular race, and that kind of made me look up more videos of Vermin, and that's when I found out that he'd been running since like the 80s, and it was a hilarious gag to me. I mean, every video of Vermin's rallies and like his positions on stuff, I mean, it's pure comedy, but it's such intelligent satire as well. It's great. It's absolutely wonderful.
So it's crazy because he's been running a long time. And he ran in 2016. He ran in 2020 also, right?
Yeah, I mean, he's run, I think, in almost every, if not every election, almost every election since like Reagan's first election or something. I'm pretty sure.
It'd be interesting to look up, like, of these three people, who do you think got more votes? Kanye West, Vermin Supreme, or Harambe?
What, Kanye got like 100,000 or something, right?
I don't know. Yeah, probably Kanye, I guess. But no, Vermin, he's got that wizardly, he's got the boot on his head. That's kind of iconic.
Let's see. Okay, I see. So what it was is that I'm looking this up right now. So he ran his first political campaign as mayor of Baltimore in '87, and he said it was just to give himself a project, something to do. But then it says here that he has run in every presidential election since 1992. So 1992. I mean, that sounds to me like maybe he has run for president more than anybody in history. If we could get Jamie to fact check that.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised. That's a lot of them.
Yeah, that's commitment right there. Well, maybe he can invent time travel and go back and get all his money back he spent on running for president. No, he's an interesting character, because when you're looking at some of his bonuses, like, what do you give a guy like this? You want him to be viable, but you just can't randomly pick numbers out. So what do you think 270 was looking at when they decided to give him a 30% high tech bonus or a 25% manufacturing? Like, what makes Vermin Supreme Vermin Supreme?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think there's two schools of thinking when it comes to a candidate like Vermin Supreme. The first school of thinking is, a fringe guy like that, should have very low stats. Whatever they are, they should be very, very 10%. Low, right? 10, 5, the dreaded 5% even, I think that is one school of thought, right? But the other school of thought, and I think that the one 270 went with, which I'm fine with, is kind of more of like a caricature type of way of thinking. So it's like, when you have a caricature portrait of somebody, when you go to the pier and you get a caricature done,
giant head.
Yeah. They take your most prominent features and they blow them up. They exaggerate them. It's almost like a parody, right? And so I think that it's like a cartoon. So I think that the way that they built Vermin Supreme stats is with the school of thinking that they're going to make it like a caricature of Vermin Supreme, like almost like, is this kind of maybe a weird way of putting it, but almost like superhero Vermin, sort of,
Yeah. Instead of a cape, he's got a giant boot on his head.
Yeah, exactly.
One question for you.
I was gonna say, so taking the 30%, which you mentioned, that to me is because he is the foremost proponent politically of time travel. He campaigns on investing in and inventing time travel to slay Hitler, I believe, specifically slay Hitler in the past, but for
Baby
other
Hitler.
stuff too. Baby Hitler,
Yeah.
right? He's going to slay baby Hitler. So I think that, going along the idea that it's a caricature of Vermin, he gets a nice big 30% high tech, because which other candidate is championing time travel?
Right. And it's less than Elon Musk. So if you like, oh well, Elon Musk should be higher. Well, guess what? He is higher.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's the thing.
So
Like, you still got to be reasonable to some degree, right? But you can have fun with
right.
it. Vermin's a
And
candidate you have to have fun with.
oh yeah, and you can add VPs to make him more legitimate strength wise. But
Yep.
he's got a negative town and gown. I think I read that he was like fundamentally against education because it brainwashes the youth.
Yep.
And
It's interesting
he's
because
yeah. Go ahead.
I was saying he's from Vermont, so you think, oh, he gets the town and gown bonus. But I mean, if you're being fair to his parody, then you got to give him minus town and gown,
Yeah,
because that's
and
what he is.
plus
He's a parody, admittedly.
yeah, and plus manufacturing. So what would that come from?
So the manufacturing, to me, mainly comes from his policy of mandatory toothbrushing. So he believes that brushing your teeth should be daily and mandatory. And so to me, that means that this country is going to have to start manufacturing a lot more toothbrushes and all the things that come with it. So dental
There you
health.
go. There you go. Well, as a father of a 1-year-old, I have baby TV on all the time. I hear brush your teeth, close your eyes, go to bed. It's time for night night. I'm just
Vote
like,
for Vermin
vote
Supreme.
for Burton's.
Yeah, I think that's
It's
what that is.
yeah. But one question before I ask and move on here.
Sure.
If you were gonna make a caricature of yourself, um, your hair, maybe put like a little rat nest or a mop head or
Dude,
where
this
what
is,
would you do?
I used to have normal, for all your viewers that haven't seen me on camera, I used to have very normal hair before the pandemic, always nice and clean. Now I just, I'm a wildebeest. I won't
At
cut it.
least at least you have hair. I am gonna be 30 this year and I barely have anything left. But
You want some of mine?
that's yeah, well,
Imagine on the next stream, you have a finely made wig out of my hair. People be like, oh my God, he's beautiful. Oh my God, dude. That's funny.
Oh,
Um,
well, but yeah, Vermin will be very viable. I think he'll be a decent national groups player, but I mean, typical. He doesn't have an AA penalty. So when you look at high tech, a bonus, AA neutral, and then swing states 15%. Sure, it's not like 35% RR 84 or anything like that, but I mean, neutral swing is great. 15 is
yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
So.
I'm a big proponent of awarding fringe populist candidates with a moderate swing bonus or a light swing bonus, because if you're thinking about what the swing bonus is, it's states that could flip flop, right? And obviously you have the traditional kind of like Democratic Republic flip flops, but I think with a candidate like Vermin or like the Stone, like you give them a swing state bonus because populists like Trump ran like this, thinking back on it, right? So
2016 for
when
sure.
you have a
Right.
candidate that's running on a populist message, it tends to be able to pull people from across the aisle that may not already be predispositioned for that. So that's why I like swing state bonuses for fringe populist candidates. It
Or
seems fair.
people like I 100% agree with you. Or just to add to that, people who maybe wouldn't vote, but they come out to vote for this person. And I
Yep.
think Trump did that with a lot of people. I think Vermin Supreme, like if he was a legitimate candidate and like was on a debate stage and like got to that next level, like there would be people who voted for him just because he's a freaking wizard.
Absolutely. I mean, he everything he does is just, it's hilarious. I mean, one of the first videos I saw of him was because everything he does is like a punching up parody, right? And it was this, and this is I think why perhaps he has an LGBT bonus. One of the things that he's done, I think at least twice in debates, is he has been known to I think I would assume it's probably the Republican candidate, but I mean, it could be anyone, but basically he sprinkles the candidate in fairy dust while proclaiming that he's turning them gay. I mean, that's just ridiculous. That's just it's funny. It's just he perfectly takes like every topic and parodies it and satirizes it. If you look up Vermin Supreme on the issues on Google, there's this website where he's actually filled out answers to different political topics, and you'll find they line up pretty reasonably with the stats he was given. But like his answers on stuff is just so funny. I mean, his position on guns, right?
Yeah.
Vermin Supreme's official position on guns is that he thinks that we need to go door to door and take away every last gun, right? But then he wants to return and give them better guns. It's
So
hilarious.
that's why he has a gun lobby bonus.
Right.
So he's got a lot of Democratic bonuses, labor and environment. Talking about I saw something. Maybe it was Javier. Someone was talking to me about manure or something. Like helping the environment, and like that could have maybe been agriculture, but he's also like
it was Daniel Smith, wasn't it?
It might have been Daniel Smith. Yeah, it was last night on the thank you, on the roundtable stream. And it's a parody account. People have fun with it. Now
maybe maybe they'll make a Vermin Supreme Lord of the Ponies edition that has 50% agriculture. No, 60% agriculture. That'll piss some people off.
I think there you go. I think they would make a Vermin Supreme Lord of the Ponies if people would pony up $4.99.
Got him.
Especially if they prepay. Then you might find Mark Penn in stable condition.
Hey, could you imagine if like they kind of did like almost like a Kickstarter page on the TwoSeventy where it's like, oh, when the Vermin Supreme when the Vermin Supreme bucket when the Vermin Supreme bucket fills up to $1,000, we'll release the candidate. Like kind of like a crowdfunding the candidates. I shouldn't give them that idea. I didn't say it.
Yeah, I was gonna say
erase, delete.
Somebody give these people a mask because they're in the dark. What's going on?
Hey, you got all the props today. You got all the props today.
No, I was going to ask you something else about Vermin, but it did slip my mind, so I will kind of move on. So I know TwoSeventy has talked about bringing other candidates in the game. The Easter egg was borderline a
horrifying
flop and a half. The Easter bunny egg, but I know they are trying to work with people and bring out candidates that the community wants. They buffed Reagan. They brought Vermin Supreme. I know people want all the past presidents, so maybe like one past president, one like kind of what you're talking about, the Stone, kind of like a populist candidate, and then one wild card. If you had 3 candidates to just recommend for TwoSeventy, who would be some names that you would think?
This is tough. I get asked this question all the time, as you know. I get asked this question a lot. So you're saying, like, and by the way, apologies for the lighting. So it is actually at the perfect time of day where the sun is like moving down quickly, and so like every moment you're getting new lighting from me. But anyway,
down in Massachusetts.
There you go. So you're saying you want me to give you a Democrat or Republican in like a wild card, or
so I'll give you some of my names. So like,
does it have to be a candidate that they'd legit be able to add, or is this wish list?
It could just be wish list, and I think it'd be pretty cool. I think that there's no way in heck this ever happened, but what's the person off of Batman, the Harvey
Dent.
He's got like half a face or whatever.
Yes, Harvey Dent. That would be sick.
So, okay, well that's a better idea than what my real idea is. My real idea
was
to have. You know where I'm going with this?
No, I don't. So continue. What do you do?
My real idea was to have like just have a Jenner character, but have half of it be Bruce and half of
No,
it be
no, terrible idea. No, Harvey Dent. That's a better idea. Let's add Harvey Dent.
Harvey
Let's
Dent.
add Harvey Dent.
That was my real idea.
Oh Lord, Brendan. Oh Lord. No, we'll add Harvey Dent.
Yeah.
Segue. So who would I add? Well, let me tell you, and I'll hop on my soapbox for this. And
Calvin Coolidge is another person. I've talked about Coolidge and I've talked about Taft. Those would be some presidents, like past presidents.
those are good. Yeah, well, but before we get into that, I'll tell you the candidate that I've always had a short list of candidates that I desperately want added to the game. Vermin Supreme's one of them, so we're good. But my next one that I really want, which is going to be very difficult to make happen. It's probably not ever going to happen, but I would really like a Republican Vincent Kennedy McMahon. Yes, WWE's Vince McMahon. I would love if they added him to the game. I just don't think it would be possible because of copyright reasons, but
then you could have a candidate be the chair and have that be the vice president.
Yeah.
Give him the chair.
I've said that they could name him like Mick Main or something, or like Mr. Man.
Yeah.
Or like, something like they did with the stone. But it seems like ever since they added the stone, they're very weary of doing something cheeky like that again. That's the sense that I've gotten.
Yeah, which is pretty cheeky. But hey,
I know.
it works.
It's interesting.
Did you see that parody account I made of the Pebble?
Yeah, the Pebble was good. I liked the Pebble.
Was a mini stone.
Yeah. I would probably add Vince. I'd really like for them to add Jesse Ventura, the former governor of Minnesota. That would be cool.
I think Walter Mondale would be okay. So
yeah,
you could have a thrashing again. You could have Barbara Bush. You could have.
I think it'd be cool, like if they want to add another novelty character. I think it would be cool if they did like an Uncle Sam or like perhaps a Lady Liberty or something.
I think Uncle Sam is like a must, like 4th of July. Definitely. And how long has TwoSeventy been out? This is their 5 year, or they've been out longer than that?
5. I want to say 5.
They could have like a novelty, like a 5-year, candidate. I say this in all seriousness. I would play as Mark Penn. He may blow the election in real life, but he might redeem himself in the TwoSeventy game.
No comment.
But
no, it would be cool to have Mark, and they should add Mark. In all honesty, they should add Mark. It's good. I think it would be cool just to have him in the game, just because, for ceremonial purposes, I think it'd be cool to have him. I'd like to use him as a VP. I think that would be fun.
I don't think they'll ever open the door and have like a real person like from the community be a character. But if they did, like I would totally play as like Sapun the Ganache, like have his mug up there and
I'll play as Rick Daniels.
Like you could have a parody account, you could have a MAGA hat with like, something. You could do it.
What if they added like who else
could
they
add G Dabs?
I was gonna say they can add old Jane. They can add old Jane to the game.
Noontane. What time is it? It's about noontane.
Noonteenth. We gotta make sure we log that holiday.
There you go.
Random candidate. Let me think about that. I guess those are all kind of random if we're being honest with ourselves, but I'd like to see them add. I'd like to see them add maybe what we were talking about earlier. Oh yeah, they should add John Wilkes Booth, and he should have all negatives except he should have a 50% Old South bonus. Because
opposite of Lincoln. Yeah, that would be interesting. There's all kinds of things they can do, but I think most people would agree that new candidates are great, but I think people want updates to the game. People want consistency. People want, you know, things they can rely on. Real fast, because I know we're going to have to go here, but you want to
Yep.
talk about, I know you are still streaming on Twitch. I'm
Yep.
doing a little bit on YouTube, but we both have had a lot of hands in the fire with 270. I wouldn't call it burnout, but it's just a priorities are changing, you know, for me specifically. I know you can touch on this too, but
Yep.
if you just want to give the community an update, and a lot of people who watch my stuff watch your stuff as well. So where
Yeah.
are you in the 270 sphere of things?
Yeah, you know, I tend to be the type of person that that has kind of some game ADD or ADHD, whatever you want to call it. It's hard for me to stay on, and it's unfortunately this is kind of how I am with my life, but
Me too.
it's hard for me to stick with one thing for an extended period of time. And it's not to say that I won't come back to it, right? I will do that. But I cycle around. Like I'll play a bunch of 270 and then I'll drop off for a while. And then
World
I'll
of
start playing
Warcraft.
I'll play World of Warcraft, or I'll play, you know, games on my Switch because I just got a Nintendo Switch. You know, that's another issue, right? I finally got a Nintendo Switch last month. So I've been playing a lot of Switch games, but that's the thing, right? I just tend to cycle through games and it's just hard for me to stick with one uh all the way through. I hate to say, but I mean, if you look at 270 before, right? Like it seems like I've been playing this whole time, but you know, I started playing 270 in 20, I think January 2019, maybe late 2018. I played a whole bunch, and then I actually stopped playing for like 4 months or so before we started doing the community tournaments, and that's when I started
Mhm.
playing a lot again for a year. So
I was the same
I
way.
just cycle through.
I started almost a whole year ahead of you. And I think my break was a little bit longer. Like it was almost 6 months or if not longer. And it coincided with a giant glitch. I don't, there was a, you know, I'm just like, I'm over this game. Like, you know, and I didn't know anybody. And then I joined this community. I don't even know how I joined the community. I joined the game through the Victor Berg, the political simulator. Like that's how
Yeah.
I found the Facebook page a different way. And I joined, you know, tossing, playing practice matches, and then the community tournament started. And back then, you know, I probably wasn't like a top player, but there weren't many people competing in tournaments, and I was winning tournaments. And you know, but nowadays, I mean, there are hundreds of people who could literally beat me any given day. Now, come get me, you know, bring it on.
Yeah.
I'm in
Yeah.
the quarterfinals of the ATP, and I have to get up for big matches. But it's just a grind of I want to play 270 on my time. I don't want to have to do it like six
Yeah.
hours a night, you know. And
Yeah.
that's kind of what
That is a big piece of it too. I mean, I've just been bogged down a lot with my job, and sometimes I hate to say it, and I don't mean to frame this in a negative way, but because you know I love a lot of these guys and they're very passionate, but part of the struggle for me is just that, you know, with some of the player tournaments, it can kind of be a chore to get your matches done, like especially like if you've been working all day and you just want to do something else. It's like it almost feels like, oh, now I have another job. I have to play this game even though I don't want to.
want.
And partially that's
Right.
my fault, right? I joined too many tournaments, but
Right.
you know, other
Partially, it's also the time commitment. I mean, like
yeah,
I joined a match the other day thinking it would last 45 minutes. It went an hour and 50 minutes. Like
yeah, that's the thing. I
every
can't do
single
5 minute
turn,
timers ever again. It's too
every
much.
single turn is 5 minutes. And I'm just like, come on, man.
And I gotta be
Like I
honest
will
too, like when you're, and like I said, this is nothing against the other guys, but when you're not as skilled as other people, you know, if you're someone like me that's maybe like more of like a mid carder or like an upper mid carder, you know, can play and win games, but can't play well consistently against the top players, it gets very exhausting to play in those tournaments, and just kind of to when you're
plateau.
playing with a lot of people that are like really fired up about it and you're just kind of like struggling through it, it gets harder. And I think that's why we've seen a lot of the newer up and comers kind of drop out as well.
Mhm. I
It's
think that's
tough.
definitely part of it, and but it also like people have things going on in life and whatever, and
Yep.
I completely understand. The good thing about our content, whether it's on Twitch at Portland Games or at 270 Videos, it's up there for you guys to enjoy forever, unless we do something dumb, copyright, and they take it down.
Well, not Twitch. That's actually something that's been, tough for me, I think, is that when I started streaming on Twitch, I didn't properly archive my footage. And so even though I've done dozens of streams, because I didn't put them on YouTube, I don't actually have any content. And so it's like, to start streaming again consistently, I need to build my library
Yeah,
again. So I think that when I'm done with this break and I'm ready to start, pumping out streams again.
right.
I'm gonna make sure that it gets funneled to a YouTube channel because I do want to have
Yeah,
highlights and things like that.
that'd be good. And I would definitely put you on my highlighted channels. That way people could filter it, and that'd
Thanks,
be pretty
man.
cool. I know people enjoy the gameplay. Those are my highest viewed ones. But my longest, like, people who watch and watch all the way through are these type of videos where you get to meet the people, have genuine conversations. A lot of it's
Sure.
strategy talk that they want, but people just like to know us. So I really appreciate you stopping by. I'm going to give you the last word, and then we will sign off of here.
Cool. Yeah, I'm glad to be on. Like Brendan was saying, my Twitch is twitch.tv/portlygames. That's where I stream my 270 content. I also stream World of Warcraft, old wrestling games, all kinds of stuff. So that's where it's going down. Like I said, I'm gonna start putting it on YouTube. Appreciate you having me on, man. I always enjoy talking to you and talking that 270 stuff.
Yeah, and enjoy Vermin Supreme, man. I thought
Yes.
about you when it was confirmed, like, oh man, Tyler's going to eat this up. Like,
Yes, I mean I haven't been playing, but as soon as Vermin goes in, I'm gonna buy him and I'm gonna be playing some matches. So
nice. I will
catch me in
be
the lobby.
avoiding.
Catch me
I'll be
outside.
avoiding Vermin Supreme 1 minute timers in the lobby because I don't want to lose. But
I'm
yeah, it's
really
been great
excited.
talking.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm really excited to actually to see which. We'll maybe have a chat about this sometime, but I'm very excited to see which VPs make sense for Vermin because I haven't even begun to spun the wheels yet.
So I think that, like, a Ross Perot makes a lot of sense. Boost the
Yeah,
high tech, the swing, and you have a negative oil, and it just would maybe
fix
negate
the
it a
oil.
little bit. I think that I mean, you could. There's a whole bunch of things you could do, but
Lindsey
I think
Graham.
that's one that just jumped off at me. So
Lindsey Graham or Kanye might be good. We'll have to check it
mhm.
out.
Yep, awesome. That'll be
Anyway,
the next video. Thank you,
good stuff,
Tyler.
man.
Yep.
Thank you.
Until next time, this is Brennan Borman, and we will catch you in the next 270 video.